Hi and welcome to another art journaling video. So I am making the third one, as you can see there, number 3, in the series of 4 art journaling videos. Already tongue-tied and I haven't even started. So with this series, the other 2 videos you can watch on YouTube as well. You saw that I started, the starting point is just rolling the ink or the paint on to the pages with this little roller or brayer as an ink roller, and this is actually from a little letterpress set that I bought off from Studio Calico once long ago. So I've had it for a couple times. I love this little roller, and you can see in the related products on my blog I actually linked another small one so you can find them. I'm working with the blues and the purples that corresponds with the little cut files and the birds that I painted. And these little birds are perfect for art journaling. They just lean themselves so lovely towards art journaling. I am using Mod Podge matte just to add the bird, and you can see where the page splits. Because the book is getting thick, I'm just cutting the little illustration and putting that little piece on the other side. And then I decided why not, and I'm going to add another little piece. So I'm just going to cut it to size, and then I'm just going to adhere it as well. So there's 2 little birds on this page. I'm just painting it with Mod Podge. I like the matte Mod Podge a lot, and then you can see it dries completely clear. Miracles happen. It's almost like my middle child eating broccoli, miracles happen. So I'm spreading molding paste through this stencil that I created, and okay, you can find all the products including the cut file for the stencil on iheartstudio.ca mini class 7. So you can just look, there's a link in the description below the video. So you can find all the products there and you can print them out. Actually, I have PDFs that is very easy to print. What I like about a PDF is when you put it on a USB stick and you take it to Staples or some printing copy center, the PDF sizing is usually very accurate if they print it just on the same paper size, and just make sure that the orientation is the same. So if the PDF is in landscape form, make sure that your orientation is landscape for your paper, or if it's portrait, make sure that it's portrait. I'm painting with a Liquitex ink, and I love this little dropper bottle, so I'm squeezing the bottle and let the paint drop. And you can see I'm tilting the book so that it's flowing up almost. If you look at the page, you'll see it's flowing up, which is kind of weird, right? Because usually you want the paint drops to flow down. But let's be weird today. Okay, so, and then I'm using a wet broad paintbrush, and just very lightly, I don't know if you can see, I'm holding the brush super lightly. I'm just painting up. So I don't want to mess up all the paint drippings there. I want to see them. But I also want to have a little bit more of that magenta color on my pages. So I'm just going to dry it a tiny bit. The one thing that I think you should take a shot every time I say this, because it's just the truth for me. It's the process, people, of this art journals is priceless. Really, it's amazing. It's way more than the actual page or the final page. It's the process, and you know what? It can be so frustrating, but it can be so rewarding as well. And I think the rewarding part is to see how the process comes together, Okay, so someone asked me about that mint green ink that they saw I'm dripping out of a Liquitex bottle. But what I did was I had a white Liquitex ink bottle that was almost done. It was almost finished. So I took the bottle, and you can see this in video 1, I think, where I just mix in green and white and a little bit of yellow to make this mint green. So I don't throw away those little dripper bottles because they are wonderful to use in mixing other colors. You can even rinse them. And you can see that I just splattered this mint green paint on there. Now it's dry, and now I'm going to paint with acrylic paint, but you can see I'm painting it a little bit, I'm adding a little bit of yellow to that green. So it's not quite the same than the other pages. And this Kaisercraft stencil, which is one of my favorite stencils, and I'm just going to dab paint through it. And I'm just going to almost make a little branch for the birds to sit on. And there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just placing it, and then I'm going to dab some paint through it. Now, the nice thing about the Mod Podge on top of the illustrations is if there's some paint that splatters on the illustrations, you can just take a baby wipe and just wipe it off. So that's why baby wipes is like the miracle of art journaling. Okay, but you can see right now it still looks a little haphazard, and it looks as if there's too much happening on the page. And I want to almost finish it by quieting some spots. So that's why I'm using white acrylic paint and a relatively dry brush. And I'm just going to quiet certain parts of this art journaling page. And that will make the page pop a little more, but also create some space for journaling and just finishing it up. And this is the embroidering part of the art journal page that I absolutely love. It's by far my favorite process part. And I think I do art journaling just to get to this part, So usually here I'm listening to music. And while I was making these art journals, I listened to a podcast on iTunes called S-Town, which was quite fascinating. It was a beautiful story. It's not as dramatic as one thinks when you start, but in the end, it just tells a story about this guy's life, which is beautiful. It was beautifully told. But I was listening to a podcast, and it just calms your mind, and it's just wonderful. You can pray, you can do lots of things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you a little bit of music, and you can just watch me paint, or you can skip the part to the end. If you don't want to watch me paint, it's totally up to you. This is YouTube, people. You can do whatever you want to. Okay, so I'm just going to embroider with a small paintbrush and a little bit of ink. So again, I'm using washes just to push the background back again a little bit more, and a wash is a wonderful way to do that. Plus add a little bit of depth to the color. And also what a wash does is it's almost like a gloss, you know, it works like a varnish to me. I just love it. And the Liquitex acrylic inks is the perfect medium to do washes with, you know. And now I'm using a baby wipe and wiping it all off again. So what I love about this is now the white of the words are shining through, and I just love this look so much. The miracle of working in layers and colors and washes, you know, and then also medium like the molding paste that allows you to see the words going through. And then I'm also working a little bit more with this fine brush and some white acrylic paint. And now I'm just doodling furthermore with just some markings. I sometimes think that it's the detail work that really makes or breaks an art journaling page or a scrapbook page or any artwork in that regard. You know, to have concentrated parts of your artwork or painting or scrapbook page and just concentrate with detail, you know, that can be so fascinating. So I'm just drawing a little bit of flourishes here and there just to enhance what's already on the page, you know. What I also love on this specific page is the blues that shines through, and that's what makes baby wipe so wonderful to work with, because you can paint a wash and you can wipe it off, but there's still a little bit of color that will remain, and in the end you will have this wonderful rich layers of color. I really apologize for my tongue tightness today. I don't know why it is. Apparently we are going to be snowed in this weekend. So if you watch this in 5 years, it's not relevant anymore, but I'm in 2017 and they are predicting a big spring snowstorm. So we're going to be snowed in. So hopefully I'll get some more art journaling done. I'm planning on working on something special for the summer. So I think I'm done. I'm just going to dry this, and in the next photo you'll see a more vivid photograph of the finished page. Sorry, not the done page. Oh my gosh. The finished page, here you can see it, and the journaling is done, and I wrote with a white pen on it. And couldn't be more happy. I think it came together quite nicely. So thank you so much for watching and listening. You can just mute the video, then you don't have to stumble through all my tenses. And I'll see you next week. Oh, here's a coupon for $6 off my art journaling workshop, Starting Points. And here's a little sneak peek of the products that I used for this page and where to find them. Bye.